location, the issue of parking, no doubt would be a challenge. I mean, it's a challenge right now.
Yeah.
Have you guys given that any thought?
Yeah, we have looked at that specific issue again. At the beginning, I indicated we weren't going to touch everything, although we would have to eventually with staff or the city. On the parking issue, there's a couple things we're going to have to do. And one is there's a culture change that's going to have to happen. I mean, I'm an example of it where I drive my car everywhere and want to park by the front door. The reality is we have parking issues today. So the concept that we've come up with, and again, this sort of is, we hope would be a possible win-win with the downtown area in addition to our parking concerns, and that is the simple shuttle system that we provide free of charge for an event that comes. And I don't mean a shuttle that comes every half hour. It's got to be a system that basically a person doesn't have to wait. There's a lot of parking garages downtown Kitchener that, my understanding, won't be full at night all the time. That's when our games are played. So I think we have an opportunity to drive the additional fans, if not some of our current ones, to that choice, where we can park downtown. We're 5-6 minutes from the downtown core. Ultimately, if a light rapid transit system comes to happen, I understand that that could be in the King Charles area. So again, a quick shuttle to that would allow people really from throughout the region potentially to be able to come into that. I mean, if you go to an Air Canada, Toronto Maple Leaf game, 20,000 people don't drive their cars parked beside the arena. People have to understand that the culture change is going to happen. So we believe we have a solution to that. I mean, there are other solutions. They're not in our business plan. You know, if the baseball diamond and the Centennial Stadium were not there, there's room for 1,600 more parking spots. But there's a cost associated with that, and there's other issues that those facilities are being used by people right now.
On a couple of, both in terms of the bigger project and the smaller project, you spoke sort of about potential provincial and federal involvement.
Yeah.
Have you guys had any discussion? I mean, would this kind of project even be eligible?
Well, we've met with federal members of parliament that, you know, it's easy for them to say, oh, I like this great idea, yeah, we'll support you, but I didn't bring a check. Okay, I understand how that works.
Don't get checks out anymore.
But they have specifically outlined a program, and I think it's the Southern Ontario, you would know the acronym better than I, on that could possibly be used for funding. Again, we're clear in our work here. It's not our building. I wasn't representing the city. Okay, so it's a fine line what you can do in that. But I mean, there was support. I'll be honest, out of the comments, the idea of the preservation of the arena and the expansion of the Ottawa was probably their personal opinion on if they were voting what it would be.
Okay, those are all the questions I have right now. Thank you, Councilor Rance.
Well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Steve, thank you very much for coming in. And I have to tell you, it's a very exciting proposal. And when you put it up on video, it really is exciting. I mean, it's like it's built already. So I really thank you for coming in. We don't really want to get into all the details, and I think that would be a wrong assumption to do that tonight. But there are some things that I think I'd like to have a better understanding. And one of them is timelines. You know, this is an election year. You know, things will change around here in the fall. So what realistically did you want council to do? What are you looking for today, and where do you see this going over the next number of months?
Well, admittedly, I'm not an expert in the political process of what has to happen.
Neither are we.
Yeah, you know me well enough. I'm sort of let's get it done tomorrow kind of person. But what we're looking for is to move this along or have staff do whatever other information has to be obtained so that ultimately a council, and I'm guessing it would be the next council, would be in a position to make an informed decision. The timelines we're challenged with on the expansion idea. It's a little rigid in time in the sense that according to our contractors, it must start in the month of May. And the reason for that is that there's some initial work that must be done to the building that would allow the Rangers to return in September and play its entire season in the building while the new shell is being built over the existing structure. Okay, so we obviously have to have a place to play while this is all happening. So if this May timetable was met, whatever year that is, some work will be done in the summer. We play the entire season. By the end of April of the following year, then the building would have to be vacated for a period of about 4 months or so. When in reality, what would happen is the old roof would be torn down and taken out through the Zamboni door. That's a little simpler than what I'm sure it would take, but that's the concept. Which would then allow the building to be available by the beginning of October. Okay, so basically we don't miss a season. Perhaps the second season we start on the road for a month or so just to make sure. That's the one restriction. Whether that could be moved to June or July, I don't know, but based on the timelines of the contractors, that's what they've suggested.
So it's possible to renovate and add how many seats?
Probably 3,500 to 3,800 seats.
3,800 seats without really affecting the ratings
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, that's right. And so from a timing, like again, I mean, in our perfect world, if this was a business plan that the community embraced, we'd like to start May 11th. Okay, I'm told that might be a little optimistic by some, but to me, I look at it and say it's a long time away still.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Yeah. Well, find out.
Okay. Didn't say what you're. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Councilor Zola?
It's really too early to ask any real solid questions. I appreciate that. I do appreciate your good accounting background where you emphasize in one of your slides that we have to look after needs instead of just wants. That's a good sign to start from. I just want to hear it again, just to where we're at this point. Your point is that you would be satisfied in staying in the location you are at now, and that you're prepared to provide the funding that's required to expand the auditorium to that extent, with assistance, cash flow assistance, basically.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
You expanded it just a little bit there. One, yes, we would be staying at our current facility. I think has as many advantages as moving, and maybe more. Okay, so that's the current facility. Just to answer, we have one of the best facilities there are in the league still, even though of its age. That doesn't matter. It's just the size issue. On the funding, what we're saying, John, is we're prepared. We have a plan that would cover 44 million. Okay, you always hate to put a number out there. Okay, but we believe it will cost more than that, but not significantly more. So that's why I say we're the major source for the primary. If whatever number I spit out of my mouth tonight for construction is one that will be measured on for the rest. I will say that people can do the math. And I'll spit out a number. I don't care. We've done a lot of work. 25% of the cost of construction is the roof. Okay, so they've done a lot of work that I think is close. Our estimate came in at the mid-40s, and we've put in 10 million contingency. We're in the 50 million range. Okay, so we're pretty close to all of it. Okay, but I can't stand here and say that right now we're 100%. But I personally, and I am a taxpayer in the city of Kitchener and the other city, I still think it's an outstanding deal. If the whole thing can work and to everybody's satisfaction, to have a community facility expanded for that cost at a marginal amount being funded by the taxpayer. But your third point is yes, cash flow is the issue. The initial check has to be written, and contrary to popular belief, and I think you know this, we don't have 50